All right, let's venture underground. Today, we're zeroing in on one specific spot, Crystal Cave in Wisconsin.
Yeah, we've gathered quite a bit here, some firsthand accounts from visitors, some notes that touch on the science behind it all.
And our goal is to sift through this, pull out the really compelling stuff, understand what makes this cave special, what it actually feels like to be in there. Let's get into it. So first things first, location. Crystal Cave, Wisconsin. Seems simple enough.
Right. But once you're inside, it's different. A key thing people note is the temperature. It's remarkably steady, 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
50 degrees, year-round.
Year-round. Doesn't matter what the weather's doing outside.
That's pretty amazing. And if you're planning a visit, it's seasonal, isn't it?
It is. Seems like it opens somewhere around April or May and runs through October, maybe even November sometimes.
Okay, so definitely need to check the dates beforehand.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's it actually like taking a tour? I see notes about different rooms.
They have these named areas like the Wish Room, Ghost Room, Fossil Room, evocative names.
Kind of gives it some character.
Exactly. And what's really striking is how little they've actually changed the cave for people.
Oh, how so?
Well, the only real additions mentioned are like wooden steps in places and a handrail. That's pretty much it.
So you're getting a very authentic feel then, not smoothed out pathways.
Not at all. You should be ready to duck your head. One person called it avoiding rock headaches.
Ah, rock headaches. I like that.
Yeah, acidic water dripping on you is just part of the deal.
Right. It's a living cave.
And that's a key point.
Right.
It is a living space. It's specifically pointed out that this is home to wildlife, especially bats.
The bats, okay.
And they make it clear you're a visitor in their home.
That perspective really changes things, doesn't it? It's not just geology.
Exactly. And the people leading the tour seem to really get that. They're described as passionate, excited to teach.
Yeah, I saw that. Like they're discovering it with you.
Right. There's even one guide, Zyke, mentioned by name.
Oh, yeah. What about him?
Described as a, quote, self-proclaimed nerd, super knowledgeable, and really patient, especially with kids asking questions.
That kind of guide makes a huge difference.
Definitely. And the experience isn't just underground.
What else is there?
There's stuff outside the cave, too. Like gem panning, apparently it's a big hit.
Gem panning, okay.
And the staff are involved there, too, teaching interactively. So sort of a whole package deal.
Interesting. So moving from the experience to the science bit, what's forming this place?
Okay, so geologically, it's centered around calcium carbonate formations, stuff that's built up over thousands and thousands of years.
Right, the usual suspect for caves. But how does it actually happen there?
Well, the basic process involves water and carbon dioxide mixing that creates a weak acid carbonation.
Okay.
Then, as this water drips down into the cave, the CO2 releases, that's decarbonization. And rain runoff mixes with plant stuff on the surface.
Making the water slightly more acidic.
Exactly. So it dissolves a tiny bit of the limestone as it seeps through. Then, when that water hits the air inside the cave passage, it can't hold as much mineral, so it deposits it slowly. Very slowly, building up these shapes over ages, over immense time, yeah. It's how many caves form. But the specific conditions here lead to some notable results.
And that's the key, right? What makes this crystal cave stand out? Are there particular formations?
Yes, definitely. There are mentions of these really unique drip formations, almost like icicles, very distinct shapes.
Icicle drips, okay.
And maybe even cooler. These small, round, almost perfect mineral deposits. They're called cave pearls.
Cave pearls? Seriously, that sounds amazing.
They are pretty special. And while other caves might be called Crystal Cave, like Crystal Grottos in Maryland is mentioned as an example, totally different formations, different season too.
Right, different place altogether.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But for the Wisconsin one, it's these specific icicle-like drips and these cave pearls that are highlighted as being, characteristic features.
So those are the geological signatures, kind of.
You could say that, yeah. It's the local expression of those cave-forming processes.
Okay, besides the tour and the geology, are there other things that make this cave notable?
Well, there's a strong conservation angle. It's noted that the cave is actively involved in a bat conservation program.
Ah, back to the bats. So they're really emphasizing its role as a habitat.
Very much so. It reinforces that idea of it being a living space.
And any, different ways for visitors to experience it?
There's mention of an adult lantern tour.
Lantern tour. So no electric lights.
Presumably, yeah. Guided just by lantern light, it would offer a totally different atmosphere, probably focusing more on the natural darkness and quiet.
Sounds intense. A different vibe entirely.
Seems like they cater to different interests, different levels of engagement with the cave environment.
So putting it all together, then, the conscious choice to keep it relatively natural, these really engaged guides like Zyke, the activities outside, the specific geology, those icicle drips, the cave pearls, plus this clear commitment to conservation, particularly the bats. Crystal Cave, Wisconsin sounds like it offers a really grounded and quite special undergrad experience.
Yeah, it really highlights how these geological features are also, active living ecosystems.
Yeah.
They support life that's perfectly adapted to these dark, stable conditions. It's a good reminder the world under our feet isn't just rock.
Right, it's often a whole other world. Thinking about a place like this not just as tunnels and formations, but as a functioning home for creatures, sculpted over eons and now looked after by people who care about it, doesn't that just make you think differently about all the hidden life and history going on right beneath us?